Hey, I want to ask you about the new college baseball model that kind of hit the news, I guess, a few weeks ago. And I don't want to put any words in your mouth at all. I just want to frame it up here. The new model, as I understand it, the proposal anyway, is essentially, a proactive approach by Power Five, primarily head coaches, to to innovate and to create and sustain that upward trajectory of the sport. Um, there's myriad variables that I could try to get into, but I mean, in essence, it proposes moving the season back, the start time of the season back to mid-March, which would then in effect move the College World Series back to mid-July. Um, I'll stop there. Just give me your thoughts on a proposal like that, and just in general on the philosophy of trying to sustain and expand on the growth that we've seen in college baseball, over the past, I don't know, quarter century.
Sure. Well, that all started with me with Camden Sewell, who did not pitch for us this year. Has a chance to be a weekend starter. I think he is going to be a weekend starter for us next year in the SEC. He didn't pitch one inning for us this year because he was a little sore after an outing. Well, it was an outing, even though we're in the South, where I think it was like a 42-degree day. And so maybe he's sore anyway, even if it's 80. But in my mind as a coach, I'm wondering, did I just jeopardize our team's success and one of our players' health, because we're out here in cold? Why are we doing this when we don't necessarily have to? It's a summer sport. And I think everybody can win. I know how passionate these coaches are about summer leagues, but going on the back end of that proposal, summer leagues can still have success. Most of the kids that go out now are red shirts or junior college players or players whose team didn't advance to the postseason. There's a ton of players that are available to fill those leagues that do it the right way, and there's a lot of them. But that's where it started with me. And then when the virus came, I even talked with Coach Maisie from West Virginia, who I think contributed to that a little bit. He's got a great baseball mind. And I thought the virus might show us, hey, let's push this thing back. This was well before I knew what was really going to happen. Hey, we're going to end up playing Omaha on July 4th. That thing on July 4th, holiday is going to be explosive. People will see, why don't we just push this thing back anyway? Of course, it didn't go down that way, but now the virus provides everyone a little extra computer and office time, and people start conspiring. Let's adjust this thing a little bit. So I don't know that the dates are exactly what I would go with. I think you could do things a little bit earlier into the summer, but whatever it is, I agree with that model. And I hope our voice is strong enough, because I don't contribute. I'm too young and not experienced enough to voice my opinion with things like that. But I hope the leaders can push forward and make something like that happen, because it seems to be the right thing to me. And too often the right thing in college baseball doesn't happen. And I don't know if that's because we're third fiddle to basketball and football, or our leaders just need to take a little stronger stance. Again, I don't have those answers, but you sure would like to see the right thing happen for our sport, because it's become a monster. We provide a lot of TV revenue, a ton of money with our postseason, and we're gathering as big a following as any sport out there, really. Maybe not as much as football, but any of the others.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, it makes a ton of sense from basically every possible perspective. I just can't. I have a harder time trying to come up with a reason not to do it that way than to come up with reasons to do it that way. I mean, look, there is nothing as a baseball player. The February game where it's 38 degrees and you got wind. And this is in Arkansas. It's not like I grew up in Michigan. And that wind whipping through there, and you're in the dugout with your coat. I mean, yeah, there's nothing worse. There's
Yeah,
nothing worse.
my buddies, I've got a lot of friends that are not baseball guys, and their reaction is kind of where I form some of my opinions. When a younger kid is calling my phone and I step out of the conversation because I can't call that kid back, that doesn't make sense. They don't understand that. And, in January, our kids come back to campus, and it's January, let's say 15th. The season is less than a month away, and we're not, quote unquote, in season. And I tell my family or my friends that, and they're like, well, what do you mean you're not in season? No, we can only practice a couple hours. Why are we doing that? Like, we have arms to take care of. And quite frankly, not just in our league, but there's good money in college baseball now. If we don't win, we get fired. There's no way around that argument. So, now the rules are basically tempting you to either cheat or to rush or put kids in harm's way, for the greater good of your coaching staff, because it's a cram session. It's kind of like back when I was studying for my finals. It's Mountain Dew and Mike and Ike's and stay up all night to get ready for your final. That's how I feel for our first game,